we fight this surge, and this relies on people. So yeah, it is about vaccines, but it's always been about people, and the amount of people that volunteer every time they're called runs into tens of thousands. It's unbelievable. Mario's a COVID marshal, Chris, who's been volunteering for a year. Hi, Mario.
Hi, how you doing?
Thanks. Good. Thanks for asking, mate. Not bad. How are you?
Yeah, pretty good, thank you.
Good. And MD Hamid's here, who's been volunteering since January. There you go. MD, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Nice to have you.
Everyone from Newcastle?
Yes, go on. Shout out an entire town. I love it. You've just woken me up. I love that. Mario, you're a COVID marshal. What does that involve? What have you been doing for over a year? For nothing? For no money? Just all the goodwill you get from it and the great feeling. What do you do?
Well, I started a year ago when we obviously all went into the pandemic, and it started off taking prescriptions to people and just fetching people shopping. And I think as the world didn't know how to sort of cope with it, you wanted to get out and do something. And more recently, it's been sort of marshalling people at vaccine centres, making sure they know where to go and point them in the right direction, and making sure they feel as comfortable as possible.
Mm-hmm. And tell me about the experience. Tell me about how it's changed over the last couple of weeks, especially with Omicron and more people needing to get in and get stuff.
Yeah, I think when you see the lines of people, when you talk to them, I think everyone's got a fairly kind of just wanting to get it done and get on with Christmas. And there wasn't really anyone that had a problem with it. I think everyone just is a little bit tired and fed up and wants the booster and just wants to, have a half-decent Christmas with their family and friends.
Yeah. MD, what have you been doing when you've been volunteering?
Oh, thank you. I started actually at the beginning of pandemic doing a food pack delivery locally, and then because of the pandemic has gone a bit down, and then I started doing the vaccine volunteering in Newcastle, which is from North Tyneside border. So it's the beginning of the job when we started doing that. I still remember the people coming first time, and then they are coming second time for their second dose. Now we are doing the booster job for all of them. So it's not really easy, but I always wear a gesture hat in the vaccination center because we also started doing the children as well. Sometimes especially children are coming as well with their parents, just to give them a smile. And as you know that most of the time we start with the elderly who is over 65 or 70. Some of them are a bit scared of needles. Yeah. So just to give them a comfort with my gesture head and make them smile. This all does matters to me, that every day or every time I go to the vaccine volunteering in the center, that I come back home before I go to bed, I think about at least possibly I've saved one life. This does matters to me. And yeah, I'm doing it and I'm happy continue it as well.
Chris, when I was getting my vaccine, there was a young lad walking up and down the queue, just handing these pens out to people to fill in what they had first time, where their appointment time was for, clean the pen, put it back in the basket, next, and he's going up and down, God love him. I came back out, he was doing the same thing. It was pouring down with rain. I'm thinking, you're definitely not getting paid a penny for doing this. But we would not see the numbers. Yes, of course, those who are trained to do it, absolutely vital, and those in our NHS. But we would not be able to vaccinate, Chris, 800,000 people a day if it wasn't for people like Mario and MD and all those other tens of thousands of people who, yet again, when Omicron arrived, they got straight off their arses and volunteered again.
The vaccine centres have been amazingly run, so well organised, and I've been through 3 times now because I had first dose, second dose, booster, and every time it was a real pleasure to be there. I mean, it's not a pleasure having an injection, is it? But it was really well run, really well organised, kind, thoughtful, respectful people. And in fact, when they saw me in the queue, because they'd been watching me on telly, they were all drawing lots behind the scenes as to who was going to get to shoot up the dog. And it was quite funny. The lady who kind of picked the winner, she was a practice nurse from Newmarket. So anyway, very nice. She wasn't a horse trainer in her spare time. She was there just doing that kind of thing. But it was a really, you can get from the way I'm explaining it. I had a really positive experience. They did a wonderful job, and in any kind of situation where I've had to go through the rigmarole of getting a test and that kind of thing, all the people who've been involved have always been terrific, and the sense of community and community spirit and everyone getting behind it has been really, really uplifting, actually. So from me to you guys who are doing this kind of thing, thank you very much.
And they, you're absolutely right about that, the whole experience. Mario, I'll just admit it now. For some reason, right? See, as I'm leaving the vaccine centre, when I'm leaving wherever it is I get it, Mario.
Yeah.
I always get a wee tremor in my lip. I always get just as I'm walking out the door, I
That was
always
the lack
get
of
a
lollipop
but
that did
just,
that.
no, I just
No sticker, no lollipop.
Do you know,
Disappointment. I did
got
put
the
that on my
sticker.
form actually when they said, have you got any feedback, Dr. Smith? And I said, well, my friend Colin is particularly perturbed because he's now had 3 jabs and he hasn't had a lollipop once, but he did get a sticker. And I said, I want a sticker. Do you know what? They gave me one.
Yes, 2 out of
They gave
3.
me 2 stickers. One said, I've had my flu jab, and the other said, I've had my COVID jab. And then you can stick them on your hospital badge, and then it encourages the patients to have trust.
Well, I've got my COVID vaccination on the back of my phone here, so I've got it on the back of that. I put it there, but I don't know why, Mario. It is my wee lip just goes every time. The whole experience, for some reason, makes me emotional. Do you see much of that, Mario?
Yeah. It's I've had both my jabs and the booster, and when we went into it was an old Central TV studios, and it was really kind of war Dunkirk spirit, kind of with the tents. And I think that for certain generations that have not experienced anything like that, it's that feeling of all working together, and it's quite dramatic when you go in and you get your jab and you see everyone working together, and with everything you see in the world going on at the minute, and you guys were talking about hope and having being positive, and actually it's not a selfless, me as a volunteer, I actually do it because it kind of gives me a little bit of hope, because there's a family, going through this. You don't know what to do from one day to the next. So there is definitely that people, even if they're moaning about it at the time, they come away from it thinking, wow, there's been thousands of people involved in organising this, synthesising a vaccine, getting people to a centre, getting them jabbed. It's a pretty remarkable thing, I think.
Maybe that's exactly it, MD. It's the one moment in all of this that is definitive. It is what it is. It's a vaccine. You go in, you get it, and you feel one stage closer to the end, and that's why it's emotional.
Add one more thing. I know we are running out of time, but
don't you worry about the time, MD. Right? You just don't worry about the time.
Yeah, I just want to say that this compassionate environment works on reciprocal way, right? That we used to get, celebration chocolate, like a bag of chocolate, bag of biscuit, cookies from our clients when they come second time to our center. They also used to write nice, comments for our volunteers, and that does actually matter a lot. I just don't want to promote myself, but I want to say that because of doing all these, I got national award this year for doing volunteering as a vaccinator. I was also being recognized as the COVID Act of Kindness Hero in the Northeast Authority.
Oh, nice.
These are the things, just to inspire. I'm saying the new generations. I'm a law student. I'm studying law in second year in scholarship in Northumbria University. That to encourage the new generation to come forward for our community. That I always remember my mom's word before she left me in Canada, that son, be there for your community, be there for your people, and something good will happen in return. And trust me, the people where they're coming back after a second time or getting their booster job, they are really thankful. They're telling us that, son, you did a great job and we are proud of you. And I really feel it, that our community is the best place to be there.
Well, that's brilliant, but it's an absolutely wonderful sentiment. But MD, I'm having a suspicion you might just be doing it for the biscuits. No, I've heard that.
Yeah, he's in it for the hobnobs. I was forming that distinct impression.
There was an article today, MD, and the biscuit prices are going to soar.
Oh, yeah.
They are now, he said
that. You keep those biscuits could go up. They could double in price if you don't scoff them.
Well, we got some lovely clients. We'll always make some nice biscuits for us, even if they go up. So that's a good gesture.
Oh, I love it. Well, listen, every single person I've encountered the 3 times made it quite a spiritual trip. I've loved it. Mario, MD, and everybody who does it. We wouldn't be getting these boosters if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much. Get yourselves to bed, Mario and MD. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good
Thank you, everyone.